Hello everyone, let us create a stamp logo in Photoshop. So let us start. I have selected an A4 size document. I'll select the ellipse tool and make sure that you select path option over here. And now we will create a path and we will also create a new layer. Right. And now we will hold shift and create an ellipse. So if we hold shift, we'll get a perfect ellipse. So something like this. And we will center align the ellipse to our document. Right. And we'll make it small. Right. And when we are making small, make sure that we center scale it. To center scale, we need to use Alt and corner drag in PC or Option and corner drag in Mac. Right. Now the next step we'll be doing is we'll select the type tool and we'll just take our mouse over this path, and once we see a dotted curve, we need to just click on this path. That's it, and we will change the text color. So we can see here we have created some default text. We will remove this default text and we will put our own text. So simply hit backspace and we will now start typing our own text. So we'll just type RS graphics and video editing institute. And we can put any text over this path, and we'll just put the complete text. And now what we can do is, see, we can use the path selection tool to move the text. So we can just move the text over the path and we can place the text wherever we want. Right. And if we want to move the text a little bit away from the path, we can also do that. We need to open the character panel. So in the character panel, we have to just put a value in this set the baseline shift option. So we can see here. So we'll just put a value of 15. So we can see how the text is now a little bit away from the elliptical path. Right. So now what we can do is we will slightly increase the size of the text. So we'll just highlight the text and we will use a simple keyboard shortcut, Control Shift greater than in PC or Command Option greater than in Mac. So something like this. Right. This much is okay. Right. Now it looks fine. And we can also use the transform tool to slightly rotate it. Right. Now it looks better. So now the next step we'll be doing is we will create an ellipse inside this text. One more ellipse. So we will take a new layer and then we will select the ellipse tool and make sure that you hold shift. If we hold shift, we'll be creating a perfect ellipse. and we'll select the ellipse or the ellipse tool, and we will just place it exactly at the center of the document, and we will adjust it properly. Right. Now what we'll do is we will convert this path, this elliptical path, to a shape. So how we can do that? Here we have the option shape, just we need to click on that. Right. So now we have converted this ellipse into a shape, and we will give some color to it. Right. And we will give a gradient color to this ellipse, this red ellipse. So let's give some bluish color. We'll select a dark blue color and also a light blue color, and we will change the gradient style to radial. And also we don't want dark color inside, we want dark color at the corners. So we will just simply click on this option, reverse the gradient colors. Right, now it looks fine. And the next thing we'll do is we will make the dark color a little bit light. Right, now this looks better. Right. Now the next thing we'll be doing is we'll take one more duplicate of this ellipse. So simply we will hit Ctrl J in PC or Command J in Mac. Right. And we will place this bottom ellipse layer below the text layer. Right. And we will scale the ellipse. So something like this. Right. So now what we'll do is we will select the top ellipse shape, and we can slightly increase the stroke. Right. And we will also change the bottom ellipse color to a different color. Let's try something like a green. So we'll create a green gradient. We'll apply a greenish gradient. We'll select linear here. I think reflected will be nice. Right. So something like this. And also we will make the lighter color a little bit dark. This looks better. And then what we'll do is we will change the text color to pure white. Right. And we will also apply some layer style to the text. Just double click on the right side of the text layer to open the layer style dialog box, and just select drop shadow. Right. So now this looks better. Right. So now what we'll do is, to make it more attractive, we will just take one more layer on top of all layers, and we will just select an ellipse tool, and we can just hold shift and create a perfect ellipse, and we will give it a gradient color. We'll give it a yellowish gradient, yellow and orange gradient, and we will select radial as the gradient style, and we will also turn off the stroke. Right, we need to get something like this, and what we'll do is we will just scale it down. We'll keep it exactly over here. Right. So now we will take duplicates of this small ellipse, or we can say golden ellipse. Right. So how we can get duplicates? So we will first activate our guides. To activate the guides, so we have to create a guide first. So here we'll just take our mouse over these rulers, and in case the rulers are not visible here, we can always activate the rulers by hitting Ctrl R in PC or Command R in Mac. So simply drag a guide and place it exactly at the center of the document. And we will also create a horizontal guide, and simply take your mouse over the top ruler and drag a guide and place it horizontally at the center of the document. Right. So we'll be now creating the duplicates of this golden ellipse. So how we can do that? First we need to change the center point for this ellipse. So we will first activate the transform tool, and here we have the reference point location option, and we will first click at the bottom here. There are different boxes here. We will click at the bottom box, and now we will just move the center point and place it exactly at the center of our document. We can zoom it and we can check whether the position of this particular center point is exactly at the center of the document or not. Right. So now once we have done that, now we will create duplicates. So how we can create duplicates? We want 40 duplicates. So in order to get 40 duplicates, we have to do some calculation. The full circle value is 360 degrees. So we'll open the calculator, and we want 40 copies. So we have to get the angle required to create 40 copies. 40 copies of this golden ellipse. Each copy should rotate by a specific angle value. So how we can do that? We will just select 360 and divide it by 40, because we want 40 duplicates of this golden ellipse. So we got the value 9. So this is the value that we will be putting in angle input field. Means each ellipse will be rotating by 9 degrees. So just we will rotate this ellipse, and here in this angle input field we will just put the value 9, and we will hit enter. And now we will use the keyboard shortcut Ctrl Alt Shift T in PC or Command Option Shift T in Mac. So we have to hit continuously so that we will get a total of 40 copies. Right. Now this looks better. So here we got 40 copies. So what we'll do is we will select all the copies just by holding shift and selecting all the layers of this ellipse, and we will right click on the layers and convert all these copies to a smart object. Right. And we can just slightly scale it down. Right. And we will take one more duplicate. Simply hit Ctrl J in PC or Command J in Mac, and we will take one more duplicate. Right. Now this looks better. Right. So now the next thing we will be doing is we will take one more ellipse tool. This time we will turn off the fill. We only want the stroke. So we will take a new layer, and we will just hold shift and create a perfect ellipse. Right. And now we will place it exactly at the center, and we will scale it a little bit. Right. And we can also do one thing, that is we will reduce the stroke size. We don't want the stroke to be too thick. Right, now this looks better. Right, now the next thing we'll do is we will just delete the guides. Simply we will use control semicolon in PC or command semicolon in Mac, and what we'll do is we will just put the title of our stamp logo. So that is RS graphics. So we can use RSG in short form. So RSG, will change the color. Right, this looks better, and we will just place it exactly at the center. And if we don't know where is the center, just we can drag a guide and we can check where the center point is. Center point of our document is. Right, so we can just scale it, and we will just take one more duplicate of this elliptical stroke. We can just keep it like this. This looks more attractive. Right, and what we'll do with this RSG is we'll first delete the guides, control semicolon in PC or command semicolon in Mac, and we will now select the RSG text layer, and we will just apply some warp text effects to this particular text. So we'll use bulge, and we will just reduce it. Okay, this looks better. Right, I am using impact font. Right, we'll slightly scale it, and we will also give it some gradient style. So the background is blue, so we will apply yellowish gradient to the text, because yellow is the opposite of blue. Right, so we'll select a gradient. So we have given it a yellowish and orangish gradient. So we have selected light yellow, yellow and orange color, and we can just make the orange color a little bit dark. Okay, this looks better. And the next thing we'll do is we'll just give some drop shadow to the text and also some stroke. So we can give it a red stroke. Okay, this looks better. Right, and we can also give the same red color strokes to the this golden ellipses. So what we can do is we can just double click on one of the golden ellipses, and we can just give it a stroke. Okay, sorry, not this. So we will just double click, and we will just turn on the stroke, and we will reduce the stroke size. Right, this looks better. And we will just copy the same layer style to the other set of golden ellipses. So we will just hold Alt in PC or Option in Mac and drag the effects icon and drop it over the other golden ellipse layer. Right, so we can see here. Right, so now just we are about to finish off our stamp logo. So what we'll do is we will get a star shape. So we can get the star shape by using a star brush, but instead we will actually download a star image from internet. So here we have the star image which we have downloaded from the internet. So I can use this, but what I want is I want a vector shape. I cannot directly put an image over this logo, because a logo has to be a vector object. So what is a vector object? Vector objects don't have pixels, and vector objects can be scalable. If we scale a vector object, it will not have pixels, so its quality is not going to change. Its quality will remain same, or its resolution will remain same, even if we resize the object, compared to the photos or images that have pixels. And if we try to resize them, they might lose their resolution. So to convert this star image into a vector object, we first need to get a selection around this. So to get a selection around this star shape, star image, so what we need to do is we need to hold Control in PC or Command in Mac and click on this layer thumbnail. So we can see a selection. We can see a selection around this star image. So now we have to convert this selection to a path. So how we can convert the selection to a path? We'll simply go to Window, and here we have the Paths panel. Just open the Paths panel, and at the bottom of the Paths panel we can see one option. So this is make work path from selection. Just click on it. So now we can see a path, and what we'll do is we'll just take a new layer and we will just delete the image. So we can see a path here. Now we will create a custom shape out of this star. So we will simply just open the custom shape tool, or select the custom shape tool from the list of different tools here, shape tools here. And what we'll do is here we need a star shape. So a star shape will appear in this panel. So how we can convert this path to a custom shape? So we'll simply go to Edit menu, and here we can find Define Custom Shape. Here we'll give the name to our custom shape as star, and simply click OK. And now if we open the custom shapes panel, we can see our shape here. This is a vector object, and this is what we need. So let's close this image, and now we will just drag, we'll create the star shape over our logo. We'll just create the star shape, and we will apply a fill color, and we will turn off the stroke, and we will also apply a gradient to this star shape. We can just apply a yellow and orange gradient. We'll simply select the radial, and we will just select a pure yellow color at the center, right? And we can also give it some stroke, but what we'll do is, instead of giving the stroke from the shape options, we will apply stroke from the layer styles. Just right click on the right side of this star shape, double click on the right side of the star shape layer to open the layer styles, and then we will just select the stroke, and we will also give it some drop shadow. So we can see here, right? We'll take duplicates of this star, and we'll just adjust them properly, and we'll just take two more duplicates, and we'll place them properly here, right? So now we have completed our stamp logo. Now the next thing we are supposed to do is we have to export this. So how we can export this? So first we will delete the white background, and we will just go to image and we'll select trim. So what trim will do? It will fit the entire document to the size of the logo. So simply we'll select the transparent pixels, and if we click OK, see, now the entire document fits to the size of our logo. Right. So now we will export our logo. See, a logo has to be a vector object because we want sharp edges. We don't want any pixels. If we have pixels and if we try to resize our logo may lose its resolution. So it's always a good idea to export our logos in a vector graphic format. So what are the vector graphic formats? We can export in PDF or we can export our logo as a SVG file. SVG or PDF. SVG stands for scalable vector graphic and PDF stands for portable document format. But before that, one thing we will do is we'll select all the layers by holding shift and we will simply right click and select convert to smart object. So now we can see only one single layer and now we will start exporting our logo. We will first export our logo as a PDF file. We'll simply go to file and we will select save as and here we will select PDF format. So here is the PDF format and we will just type RS graphics logo and we will save. We can just use the default options and here we can just change one setting, that is press quality, and then we will simply click on this save PDF button. It takes time to save and now we have saved our file as a PDF file. So let's check the output. So here we can see. So this is a PDF file and the good thing about the PDF file is we got sharp edges. We got a perfect quality and perfect resolution. And we will now also export our same stamp logo as a SVG file. So we'll simply go to file, export, and we'll select export as. And here we will select SVG from the format list. SVG stands for scalable vector graphics and this SVG format is very much used for creating logos, because if we try to resize a logo, the logo will remain in same quality or same resolution. The resolutions of logos will not change. That is a good thing about SVG format. So SVG stands for scalable vector graphics. It means it is scalable. We can scale the logo and still we can maintain its resolution. And one change we will be doing is we don't want this much width. Here the width is 2000 pixels. Let's keep the width as only 1000 pixels. Right. And now we will export. And we will just give the same name. Right. So now we have exported our file as an SVG file. So we can see here, this is the SVG file and we can see we got sharp edges. Right. So this is a simple tutorial about designing a stamp logo using a different shape options in Photoshop. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please do like, subscribe, share, and if you have anything to say, do comment. See you again.